Good morning, everybody. Are you strong on presidential trivia? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today. For instance, on this date, July 9 in 1850, President Zachary Taylor died, supposedly because he ate cherries with iced milk. George Washington did not have wooden teeth. They were a combination of metal and bone and ivory, but they weren't wooden. So remember that. Thomas Jefferson did not think being president was one of his greatest accomplishments. And on his gravestone, he mentions three things, like authoring the Declaration, but not being president. Andrew Jackson did not like paper money, and yet here he is on the 20. He did not like the Bank of the United States and its paper money, so he preferred gold and silver, and that was a big political issue for him. William Henry Harrison was president for 1 month, so he has the record for the shortest. He died of typhoid, probably from polluted drinking water in the White House. Zachary Taylor was the Whig nominee for president, but he didn't know it because the letter sent to him with that information did not have a stamp on it, so he found out later. So here's our event, July 9, 1850. Zachary Taylor died. He had had the equivalent of a cherry milkshake on July 4, and then he got sick, and he probably died of an infection in his digestive system. The first library in the White House was started by Millard Fillmore, who not only has the greatest name of all the presidents, but he was the vice president of Taylor, so he became president and then started the library in the White House. James Buchanan, also pronounced Buchanan by some, but he was the only bachelor to occupy the White House. Now, how about U.S. Grant? Well, his first name was not Ulysses, it was Hiram. And how he got Ulysses, probably a paperwork mix-up. And he didn't have a real middle name either, but S became part of Unconditional Surrender Grant during the Civil War. The first president to enjoy using the telephone was Rutherford B. Hayes. And here you can see him with Edison in a wax museum. And also Hayes started the Easter egg roll, the Easter egg hunt that happens on the South Lawn of the White House. So that's a tradition that's been going on for a little bit of time. The first president to enjoy electricity in the White House was Benjamin Harrison, the grandson of William Henry Harrison. So must have been kind of cool to finally have electric lighting in the White House. William McKinley has his picture on the $500 bill, which was discontinued in the 1940s. And if you have one now, you have to send it to the government to get destroyed. The first president to throw out a pitch for opening day in baseball was William Howard Taft. Taft also became a Supreme Court justice after the presidency, so that's kind of cool. The first president to use the radio to talk to the American people was Woodrow Wilson. We tend to associate that with Franklin Roosevelt later, but Wilson was the first. And Calvin Coolidge is the only president to have a birthday on July 4, Independence Day. So Calvin Coolidge didn't say much, but he had a good birthday. Herbert Hoover is the first president to be considered a Westerner, born west of the Mississippi. He was born in Iowa. We consider that the Midwest today, but that was considered the West for a long, long time. The first president to have a putting green installed near the White House was Dwight Eisenhower, who golfed quite a bit. I think it got moved by Bill Clinton. It's a bit closer to the Oval Office now. Gerald Ford had the opportunity to play professional football. He had played at the University of Michigan, but decided to go to law school instead. And Ronald Reagan, who we associate with sunny California, was a lifeguard there. He was actually born in Illinois and later on became president. So how do you study American history? Well, one perspective is through the lives of the various presidents, where you find all kinds of fun facts and interesting tidbits.